everybody, welcome back to Champ & Sons and our Planet Coaster series, which this is the final episode. As you can see, we are standing here at ground level getting ready to take our park tour as we see people going off into the dark abyss for leaving the park. So here's the standard view from the parking lot. Pretty standard, just square basic one that we built. Didn't take us too much time. The only path work coming in here. So we're going to go ahead and head off into our entrance building to take a look at everything we've done here on this park ever since it started. Going to good old Thrillville. So you see a little bit of the clipping coming in from the path covers that we got. Mixed in with the pathing right there. We got our ticket office, which is actually closed. Not sure if that's going to be profitable. And then we got a park security building over here. Pretty standard, nothing too extravagant about it. And basic designs on the outside, nothing too serious. Pretty much to my capabilities, I would be willing to say. Alright. So now let's go and head into the park, and here is the entrance plaza. And I will say what I love about coming in here is the views of the ride. So from the parking lot, we have the two B&Ms on both sides, the inverted and just the regular one. And then coming in here, we can see this big swinging pendulum. You get a little bit of B&M on the far side. And then we also have our launch coaster right here. Now, on the stream and everything from before, we talked about putting an SLC in the back, an inverted one. It just didn't seem to fit. I mean, the viewpoint would be nice, but it just didn't really work out. Just the overall aesthetic of it just wasn't top notch, essentially. So now you got to ask yourself the question that we go, right? So first, what I want to check out is going to be this little food court area we built in here. Getting this added in, we got a hat shop which is closed, so that's great. Get yourself some milkshakes. And what the hell is that? I guess that's standing on a table, maybe. Milkshakes, juice, whatever you end up needing. Multiple levels here, and then we put our little ramp on the outside for if you need ramp assistance versus stairs. And this is one of the actual areas, I'm not going to lie, I am a little bit more proud of this area than some of the others throughout this park. Mainly because you have the different levels coming from there. And we can head back this way, come down there, come down this ramp over here, back in the very middle of the entrance. So which side to go to first, right? That's what you kind of ask yourself. And part of me says, well, let's kind of go the way that we built this park, right? So first ride that we put in is going to be all the way down here. And yeah, I know, we're zooming on down. I ain't got time to waste. We got the Spin Doctor ride right there. And it comes off all the way down over here. Go to the bathroom, dudes. Jeez. And here it is, the Professor Chaos coaster. There's our inspiration, Professor Chaos. The man, the myth, the legend. And the anime version. You gotta love South Park, right? So this queue line is fairly basic. I could go through that, but I'm just going to skip the line because I am special that way. We're going to go on up, out of my way. Move it. Still going, long queue. Boom, hopping lines, moving on through. Let's get up in here. And should be one coming around here fairly quickly. Should have a couple different trains on this one. And there's one coming over the loop. And look at that viewpoint. That is pretty nice, especially that little waterfall coming right back down. If those of y'all remember from when Professor Chaos tried to flood the world. We got the big upper section of the loop. And here it comes on the closing back stretch. And that worked out actually really well with these viewpoints here, seeing it run with all the foliage and coming through that lighted section. I do really like that a lot. So let's hope to hell this is going to be the proper train. Nope. Let's go and get on train number 2. We're going to go seat 2. We're going to be in the very middle of this front section. I'm going to go ahead and mute the mic while we hop on this ride. So I do hope you enjoy, and I will see y'all at the other end of it once it actually gets kicked off, which should be pretty damn quick. Everybody's getting on. Hello, hello. We are out of here. And I guess actually we'll talk all the way going to the top of the damn lift hill. That other one's back fairly quickly now that I think about it. Thought I had these things timed out just a little bit better. Now some of these buildings, as I'm looking, don't have as much detail as I wanted to put on them, and that's my fault, but we'll get to that once we get off this ride. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off the mic, let y'all enjoy this thing, and I'll catch y'all once it is over. And that is it. Actually worked out pretty damn smooth. I did like it. The first coaster built in the park as we get ready to come out. And let's go ahead and hop off this bad boy. And it kicked us back to the very beginning. I guess I should have seen that coming. Let's get back over here. You shall from now on be named Hedged Cam until the next ride. Now, let me go find the exit path here so we can actually see where this thing comes out from. And this is where it actually spits you out at. So once you get off the ride, it's a pretty basic exit coming down all the way through this section. And then we enter into our gift shop, which has a lot of space. But we do have ourselves a restroom and a juice place right there. Other than that, you have a lot of your... there's some of those bro coaster things right there. You take a look at the pictures. Boom, 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 boom. All up. $5.99. Very cheap for a picture. You got t-shirts, backpacks, candy. All sorts of things going on here. Little other sorted items that we were able to find in the workshop from the TMTK stuff. So it did a really good job in filling out everything. So we're going to come back out down this ramp over here, and we got stairs on that side. So got both areas covered, stairs and ramp. Good for everybody. So now I mentioned before a little less detail on the buildings here, and really it's just because I didn't have time to get to it. Most people that, if you ever saw any of the streams, try to do it weekly. For a while that was working, but life catches up to you and we're just not able to do it. And in reality, now that Planet Coaster 2 is out, we are working on getting started on a series there that in reality, finishing this just, I couldn't get motivated to finish it, right? So when you talk about decorations being all that's truly needed, I just couldn't get myself up for it, especially with preparing for Planet Coaster 2. So, you know, things happen. It's just the way of the world. That's life. Now, I think we could probably try to circle back through. I don't think I'm going to go on the log flume ride, although, yeah, I guess we could, as we have a bunch of workers. I did finally get in a work area for them off in the back here. Now, obviously, Planet Coaster 1, they didn't have paths, staff paths, so Really, it's basically just the only thing behind here is everything meant for staff. There's not one single attraction or anything that would draw a member of the public, so it's only staff that do go back there. Alright, so we are going to make our way around for the most of the way here, coming to our log flume. And I don't think we're going to get on the ride. I mean, it takes quite a while to do. But looking at it, we've got a pretty good line coming through. As we added in a bunch of different wood stylings and stuff all along the sides here. Worked out pretty well for all those. And so then, yeah, that's pretty much how this is going to shape out. We're going to jump across. We'd normally get kicked out for that, but we're special, so we won't. We'll take a look at it from the side view. And really, it was kind of a marshling. That's why it's called Swamp Thing. And if you see the way this stuff is done, yeah, we try to cover the actual flume part as best we could, but when it's raised up, it becomes kind of difficult. So we did hide it pretty well behind a lot of the foliage and the swamp trees and so forth. But overall, I think it came out pretty damn well. It's a fairly basic one. It goes around, circles around itself, comes down here for, I guess, the second big drop, which occurs before the big drop, and it takes you kind of around the area. We really boarded or colored up some of the edging with the rock work going all the way around. So I think it turned out pretty decent. Now we got a wide open gift shop here, and I can safely tell you this, it seemed, or at least it felt, so much smaller of an area while building it. It really did. I don't know what happened. It feels like a huge empty space now, but man, it felt so much smaller when we were building it. Alright, let's go ahead and check out this hill for this ride. Get out of my way, peeps. Boom, there's your lift hill right here. It's going to go up into the massive drop. We'll check that out here in a minute. This is our kiddie coaster. It's nothing special. It's not one that I don't think we're not going to ride this one today. It really is just kind of out, back, and around. So, taking a look at it, it's actually got a pretty decent little viewpoint from what I was wanting with the Tegid Cam. And actually comes through here perfect. So, we get to come down lift hill number 1 over here, comes all the way around. So then you have lift hill number 2, comes down, back and around, and into the final little run right there. So you see not a whole lot of people on it, not very intense. It is meant for kids though, so you know that's kind of the way it goes. And speaking of the children, this is the kid area. You'll see one, it is wide open, very colorful floor. A bunch of the flat rides, and when I say flat rides, I mean these are the lower intensity ones. We got your teacups, little balloon floaty things going. Got lots of different stuff happening in this one. That little octopus ride kind of thing right there. So a bunch of nice little flat rides that kind of solidify this area. Seating chart with a little food court section, but overall I think it turned out pretty well. The idea behind it with the less intense rides, as you can see, there's a couple little kids getting on that one, so it's pretty much answered its calling, I think, for the most part. And then we can turn it back up and around here, and this is one of our top attractions, a wing coaster, and watch this bad boy come off this drop. That is a great little shot right there. Coming down, up, and down she goes. Boom. Right into the big ass loop. Around into the 0G roll. Yeah, that's a beautiful view, and actually that turned out so much better than what I thought, even while building it. And looking at it afterwards and kind of walking around the park, but looking at it from the peep view of the Tegid Cam, oof, man, that is fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic, I tell you. Alright, so we're going to take a look at this drop from this log flume before we come back over here to the Star Fox. And here it is. Oh yeah, this little overgrown marsh section, but you get a perfect view of it coming down into the drop area. It is surrounded by water, so it really does fit and work out kind of perfectly for this. Now, You'll see this little hill section up over here. That's just to get things to level back off. I'm going into the station, but other than that, this was a pretty fun build to have happen. Definitely check out the playlist and you'll see the build occur. We are going to be going back to streaming on Twitch once we get Planet Coaster 2 going, and I get a little bit more used to a lot of the work in that. But overall, right now, just focus on this one. This is pretty dang good. And I've never been a detail kind of guy. Like, I wish I was. I truly, truly do wish I was, but I'm not. So, doing a log flume like this was impressive for me. At least it made me feel good about it. Now this fencing, maybe questioning the fencing, and really it's only because that would be more for security purposes. I can't imagine it would be one lower, so I did make it 2 of the 4-meter high fences, or 2-meter high fences, I guess, based on how big that person was. So I guess it's like a full 4 meters above or something like that, but I can't imagine it being any smaller just for security. And knowing me, myself, I'm 6 foot tall, 6'1". If I really kind of stand up straight, knowing that, I think that's a relatively decent sized fence, because a lot of fences are going to be my size. So probably maybe around here. Just for extra security though, I definitely think that we'd probably have to put one bigger for this area. Now this is one of the biggest, another point to this ride that I really loved, is the viewpoints we have of it. And I mean, here it comes after the 0G roll into this mid-course brake run. And I just love seeing that thing. It hits and then boom, zooms you right around and down. Like, that's just a perfect little view as it comes up and around on the corkscrew. Yeah, you can't ask for more than that, really, at times. Now we added in our little drink station, Falco fuel. This is actually called the Falco, not Star Fox. Falco, I don't think gets enough credit for his role in Star Fox, as well as his role in Smash Brothers. I think everybody still focuses on Fox. No, Falco's the man. He's the guy. So, this one is inspired by Falco and Smash Bros. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and hop on a Falco. And I love these path covers right here were a pain in the butt, but I love how they turned out. I really do. It's just the right amount of shading. You know, it's not too much, too little, too much. I think it really fits perfectly for this ride. Alright, so we're going to hop the fence, run up and around, zooming around the park. That's what we're doing today. Cutting through lines, still cutting through lines. Ooh, it's already in? Well, we're getting on this bad boy too. Alright, having that little door open up, that just feels good about this thing. As animated parts and stuff like that I normally don't do. But once again, decided to push myself to do it on this one. Maybe we'll see it come up in Planet Coaster 2. Now we are approaching the height of the pigeons flying above us right there. But other than that, this ride is fairly intense. But I think it's got good wing coaster features. So, never been on one myself. Never even seen one in real life outside of a TV. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's enjoy the ride. I will leave y'all off and catch back up when we are done. That was it. That ending's kind of impressive. That little barrel roll there at the back, a little janky. I put that in as it shoots us all the way across. I ended up putting that in all manually done, which is why no matter how many times I smoothed it, it still came out. Like, it looks semi-decent. I like how it looks, but maybe it's just because the pieces were so wide, or maybe I didn't put enough of the, I don't know, what the little movement from whenever you bank a turn. Maybe I didn't put enough on that, but I do love how it came out with those lights, and I think it all looks really great at night. So maybe we'll take a ride on some of these things at night and see how they do and how they look. Alright, back down at Peep View. So that was Falco. Let's go into the gift shop. It spits you out right into here. As you see coming out of the exit. Boom, spit you out into the gift shop with nobody working. Rude people taking too many damn breaks, I'll tell you that much. As we come in and we have our standard gifts, Planet Coaster board game, all that stuff was on the workshop. No, I don't know who created it. I can definitely tell you I did not do this stuff. This is all TMTK items. These are the only things I know were part of the whole Bro Nation thing. Just YouTube that if you want to know what that is, if you somehow have never heard of it while playing Planet Coaster. A bunch of Star Wars stuff. I just like having that in there, but that was Falco, and we are going to move on. See, most people spend all day at a park, but when you're like me and you get special privileges, cutting people in line, man, you get on the rides that you want to go on as fast as you want to go on. Alright. Now, which way? Yeah, the kid area I just called Discovery Zone Kids. Nothing spectacular, kind of cheesy, kind of ridiculous, kind of a massive little entrance archway with the words overly spread out, but it is what it is. I enjoyed putting it together. I felt good about it. That's what truly I think matters in this sense. Alright, so let's go back through the Discovery Zone Kids section. And we're going to turn left. Come on down this pathway that's clipping all over itself, as you can see. Oh, there's one of our rides going up. Ooh, that's a great view coming out of our RMC coming shooting over right there, that zero G roll. I like that. That turned out pretty damn well. But before we get into that one, let's go ahead and go down into Tornado Alley, inspired by Twister and Twister 2. It's a pretty smooth little finishing round, gotta say. Alright, so here we have ourselves just a standard little shop, nothing special. As you can tell, the interior is done, but it's not spectacular. Just got some benches and apparently some trash. Good lord, these peeps are the trashiest folks out there, my god. Gulpy, chief beef, and a restroom with no door that has got a severe funk coming from it. Cleanliness, zero. Oh my god. Alright, use price. No, I'm not charging people. I just want to figure out how to get it to go be cleaned. That ain't right, man. Just ain't right. It's got a funk about it that green steam is sticking out. I have a feeling that's going to happen a lot. I know for certain, since this was a sandbox park, I did not anywhere near hire enough people. Alright, so here's Twister, inspired by Twister 2, obviously at the time when this ride was made, that was coming out. But it's also a mixture of Poltergeist from Fiesta, Texas. Now, is it an exact carbon copy? No, it's not even the same type of ride, but it's basically inspired by it for the most part. So that's kind of the thinking coming into this thing. It is a launch coaster, and we'll take a look at that once we get off this ride. We come in here looking at the decorations, like a tornado's been flying through here, leaving cars upside down, trees uprooted, long ass queue line. And if you do hear anything in the background, my kids are busy cleaning right now. We've got a birthday party for my older daughter. So, you know, it is what it is. You might hear some stuff of kids having to do chores while I do a recording. Look at that. That car got thrown straight through the damn tree. It's so hard it even connected. Now that's about an F8 tornado. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Alright, so let's jump the line. We've got gates and doors to be open down there. Come on. Yeah, we'll wait patiently with you, but understand we're going to be taking some of y'all's seats. Frontier Expo. I was not invited to that. Here we go. Still looking. And here it comes in. Zooming in. Good Lord, that was a hard stop. So we're going to go ahead and jump on this one. And as we get shifting forward, I'll cut out the mic at that point, but we're going to get everybody on this ride. They're now getting off. We ride a blue-haired lady. It's down. Guys, I will catch up with y'all when this one is done. Okay? And that was Twisters. We've now been shot off all the way back over to Falco. You know, I think I'm just going to stay out of Tejicam. We can do this our own self. Right? So we're going to go here. Yeah, we got this. But before I do that, I'm heading back over to Twister. Oh my goodness, shocking camera work. I know. It's very dizzying. Now, in this one, we didn't have a whole lot of didn't really have a gift shop for the moment. I mean, there is one. It's right over there, and we'll go check it out. But first, what I really wanted to see, what I really love about this thing, and it's going to take us a minute to let this train go around the track, is but to watch this thing come shooting out from the barn door, basically. That was a primary design point for this shootout. Essentially, think of it like a tornado sucking it through the house. Boom! Gets sucked right out and out into the tornado wilderness over here, which is what that represents, kind of the chaos of it all. So we can get a pretty good shot when people start pouring out. So eventually we're going to see it come shooting out. I don't know exactly when. It's probably going to catch us all off guard, but hey, it will do what it will do. As nobody's exiting right now. Here they come off. So you know people are going to be getting on. And there it is. Boom. I do love that thing. Seeing that shoot out that way. Alright, so now going against the exit grain. Come down. We're going to check out. See, this gift shop was little. The camera thing's not even working right now. But basic gift shop stuff, the stuffed animals, all those TMTK items, found all throughout. Filled it in. I'll say this is probably actually one of my more favorite gift shop layouts that we have here. I think it fills in a pretty decent space, not too much, not too little, but does just right. And then we've got an area that overlooks the water right here. A little water overlook, and look at that reflection of those rides. That is just pretty. And then you got some seating areas just to kind of rest and relax. You know, family that's not on the ride, if there's a long line, they can just wait, check out the situation, see what's going on, watch the track go, that kind of stuff. Alright, well, since we're not in Tejicam, we're going to break the rules. Oh my goodness, I did get hit by that. What are the odds? We're going to zoom across that property. We're going to come back over to here and out on this other side. As you see, just more seating area. And I just love the view. Look at that view. My goodness. Imagine hearing all the people screaming and all that stuff on this ride. Man, that would just build it up so much. A lot of G-forces getting pulled right there as you launch into the barrel roll. But yeah, I have really enjoyed this ride, and that was a weird launch off, but okay. Now we're going to come right back up, and we didn't fill in the flowers on this one. This is that standard annoying spinning ride that doesn't really attract much. The one thing I liked about this one is the little Q cover that we put right there. Oh, that just looks actually pretty nice for me. Alright, so now we're going to come back over here. This is going to be one of the older portions of the park as we head this way. One, there's our lockers that we had. I forgot who built those. This was off the workshop. Just these lockers, the building. I know it's hard to tell, but that's all mine. So, yeah, we got the lockers there for rental. And then it's going to come down over, oh, good Lord, fast movements. Oh my God, oh jeez. This little downhill area, which ideally would have been used as like a quarry before, maybe like a little pond, a lake thing that we had kind of drained out and built this area in. There's not even a whole lot of seating stuff. It's just some shaded areas with a couple of these flat rides in. That's really it. So we're not going to go down there too much. It does have a lot of the flower work. So it does look pretty good. But it's not something that someone comes and goes, oh my God, let's go look at that. No, they just don't do it. There's our restroom that we put in. You know, two restrooms. Ideally one male, one for men, one for women. But the big attraction right here is the second coaster that came into this park called Cobra. This one is a B&M invert, and I enjoyed building this one mainly because I think a lot of the foliage work around, oddly enough, I actually enjoyed it. Which, like I say, some of that detail stuff, it's not my strong suit, you know, it just isn't. Oh, let me go back to this other one. No. There we go. Yeah, it just isn't my strong suit of stuff to do. So I really did try on these things, and I think this one is one of the better ones that turned out. Waiting, we're in, and we are moving. We got lights, so it is lit up at night. We will take a look at night view. I'm not sure if I don't think we're gonna ride these at night, but it does light up pretty well. I do enjoy seeing that. We go up this lift hill and get ready for the initial drop down to the left. And we're going to get on this thing, and as soon as we hit the top here, I'm going to hop off and let y'all enjoy this ride. I'll check in with y'all here in a minute. And here we come into the ending block section run. I do love those inverts. Not gonna lie, the B&M inverts are some of my favorite ones to get on. I think they got fast. The downside is the parks I have available are the Six Flags ones here in Texas. So of course you have Goliath and Batman, which are the Goliath and Six Flags in Fiesta, Texas, and Batman and Over, Texas. Now those are the exact same ride, just on different sides. Goliath turns to the right, Batman turns to the left. So yeah, that's about it. Now this gift section is fairly small. It was kind of an afterthought when I was putting in the ending queue line. I'm like, oh crap, where am I going to put one in at? Not much going on gift shop wise, but still, I think it looks pretty decent. I got the boxes for camera work. I always had hoped that they would put one there, and then I would take time to go get the screenshots of it. Just didn't do. Happens. But here's our signs. We do a lot of these custom screen signs that basically just make the image and then display it on the screen as a lighted picture. So at night they really do shine through, which makes them look pretty damn good. Now we're going to continue off over here to the left. And really what you're going to see from this point on is going to be all the newer stuff, right? So all these things. The Midway, okay, so the Midway is not old, right? But it's definitely not newer thing. It's just a bunch of games kind of flopped around, planted and placed all over each other. So yeah, I mean, it really is just your basic kind of Midway game section that's there. So that's what we got going in there. Now, here we come on into this area. As we come into our steel, I guess not steel ride, right? It's the, it's our Woody, but it's the hybrid coaster that we're coming into. Let's go ahead and jump on that. Decently long queue line. I think it works pretty well. It comes out, down, and around. I love having the rock work on it. I think that works beautifully for this kind of fencing and this kind of building style also. I think it works pretty flawlessly for it. We come around and you'll see everybody coming out of the station. And then you watch them get up on that lift hill. That is just a good feeling to see happen. That in reality would build up the tension big time for all these people waiting. Every time you hear that of the coaster going up the track, oof, that would definitely get you puckered, to say the least. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and kick one of these people off that ride. Nope, not you. Why do I keep doing that? So here we are on our hybrid coaster, getting ready to go up this lift hill. Like I said, it worked out pretty well, adding in all those trees right there to kind of fill in some of that blank space. But then going right by the queue line to get on this lift hill, and it goes up quite a bit of ways. We'll take a look at some of the stats on some of these rides when we're done with them. You get a perfect viewpoint of our little Giga coaster right there, like that. That just looked good. And out over the rest of the park. Alright, here we are at the top of the hill. I will check in with y'all when we are done. Alright, we're back, and that one was a quick one, I will admit. But man, it is a good one. Taking a look, let's just look at these stats. Where's our stats on this stuff? The results. Yeah, so the max speed is 72. The biggest drop is 166 feet. That's a pretty damn decent little drop coming off that lift hill there. Now this one will spit us out on this side once again. Another gift shop going. We've got lots of different things from TMTK items here for purchase. No one ever does though. And we walk on out. Now coming out, put in a couple of flat rides because I think generally, in reality, every coaster area is going to have a few flat rides. Probably just a couple of them for the most part. In my experience, you normally have one or two flat rides around each coaster. Very rarely do you have coaster after coaster after coaster, then a flat ride. Normally it's a coaster with a couple flat rides around it, and then another one. So that's kind of the thought in this building design and this building layout. Well, we come over here and we got this one little spinny flat ride, Supernova, takes you up, spins you around. The usual, nothing special. And then we're going to come down here into the newest section where we added in our newest coaster to the park. To get past all these flat rides, I do love these signs. And that sign's fairly basic, but I think it worked out pretty damn well if you ask me. That one just ended. God, I hate flat rides like this. When I was younger, yeah, I'd be on them. But shit, I'm in my late 30s. Ooh, late 30s now. Sounds good. Sounds interesting whenever I say it myself. But I'm in my late 30s now, so it's just not the same thing, you know what I mean? There's a shuttle ride. That's an old classic. I do always love this one. Even at my tender age of 37, I love that one. And here is going to take us off to the newest section of our ride. Newest area. And it's going to be quite the trek, ladies and gentlemen. Quite the trek to get up here. A lot of uneven groundage, which actually I think works out pretty well. It does look pretty good if you ask me. I mean, not this part, like that's excessive, but overall I think it looks pretty good. And here we come up into the newest and final coaster of our park. And just so y'all know, what we were going to do is we're going to put that SLC coming right off this edge. We were going to have a path that was going to go up, kind of wind its way up to the flat part there at the back of the park. This one is the Lightning. Why is it called that? Because it goes pretty damn fast for being as high as it is. Long ass queue line. But outside of that, it doesn't shoot you out or nothing. That's just why we decided to call it that. Now then, the track is coming to an end. So let's get this thing around the corner. We will hop on it. I did want to have a Giga coaster kind of like this in here. I'll have to double check the height once we get off to see if it technically qualifies as a Giga coaster. I know when I built it, the height was over 300 feet, but actually we can look at it right now. 309. Yeah. 309 feet. Booyah. Giga coaster here. It's max speed 96 miles per hour. I love the excitement being in the green. Fear, it's not a shocker when you're going that high, those speeds. I can get that being the orange. But nausea, perfect rating. I think this park really allowed for building of the coasters to be one of the top points for me. Something that I think even back in the Roller Coaster Tycoon days, I was kind of average at. But this one, I think the coasters really turned out great for this park. And with what we were able to produce. So I think it really worked to our advantage, and they came out pretty damn good. And what I'm going to love about this, once again, it's a fairly steep lift. It is a cable lift hill is what I went with, but look at the view coming off this ride. There is the whole park in all of its majestic glory. It was a fun build. It was a strenuous build, a long build, but a fun build nonetheless. And I can't wait to get to our new one there in Planet Coaster 2. We're going to take a look at that RMC and kind of how we did those tracks or those supports, since I'm not a very big custom support guy, but we'll take a look at that then. However, since we're at the top, I will let y'all enjoy it. Be back soon. And that is gonna be lightning for us. So I enjoyed how this thing turned out. There's our ratings on it. Pretty damn good ride, all in all. When all is said and done, the hell's the damned exit path for this thing? Oh, here we go. Comes out. This was a gift shop building, but we haven't had a chance to fully complete that build yet. But man, it would be a massive one. I will say that. Although, of course, as soon as I were to start building it, it'd feel small as hell. You know, just the way things go around here. Now, in the effort to continue the flat ride coaster pairing, we put a basic little Ferris wheel around here. Once again, if you're someone who doesn't like intense ass coasters, go on the little Ferris wheel while those in your family do. Can go ride that thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and zoom out because I want to oh my god, this camera work sucks. I hate these controls for that. Is these custom supports. So basically, on the workshop, found someone that did, and actually, I guess this is a better example. Someone over here calling these a custom supports, and I guess in a way it looks kind of, it does result in the same thing you kind of see from like Iron Gwazi and all that stuff, as far as that support work. But basically, it's kind of a wood framing more or less, around the coaster track. It's a coaster track that they remove the supports from, and basically add a little framing, and you get that kind of support look, because it's going to remove the supports from the track that it's underneath. So it comes down right on top of it. A lot of this stuff we had to put this in ourselves. So I built the framing more or less around because I didn't like what it had on it. But I think it actually came out pretty damn good at serving its purpose there. And we also used it over here coming off this little, I guess, 0G roll is the best way I would call it. And I only wanted that because I did want the 0G roll. I do love those. But I also wanted to keep I guess it's more of a standard airtime hill. I say that because I've ridden 2 RMC hybrids in my lifetime. The Iron Rattler and the Texas Giant. Both of them do this little launch thing right there. And I mean, it does launch you out your seat. I'm a fairly big boy, and it gets me up and moving, to say the least. You know what I mean? And coming out of those intense sections, this is kind of just a little slow up, but then start building speed again, and boom, launches you out of your seat one more time into some airtime hill right there, into an inversion, and then around. So I really love how this layout happened for this RMC. Now, on our big boy, Lightning, this was the fun part, putting it coming through here, through the tunnel. I do think you'd probably run into some issues with G-forces coming out of the hill, up and around, and then down, and that is a fairly tight turn to come into this hill. But running it along the ground, I enjoyed that part of it, and in reality, I think, make a coaster like that with that big ass drop, you could actually have it be one that just hugs the earth, and it could go forever doing something like that. So I really enjoyed building all of these coasters in this park. Now, I said we were going to take a look at some of the stats on all these other rides. We saw the RMC, 166 foot, 72 miles an hour. Well, let's take a look at Cobra. That one, max speed 61, only 115 feet. It feels a lot higher up, doesn't it? But in these things, that really is a pretty decent drop. I say that once again. I told you about my RB&M inverts. Those drops, I think, are around 80 feet in total. So this is a whole 35 feet above that. Looks pretty damn good, too. Especially when you're coming in from the parking lot. Like, if you had to park right here, and the park's already open, all you're going to hear that B&M whooshing sound that they make. That's so classic for them. That's just going to get you amped up to get in, you know what I mean? So here we come, and let's take a look at some of these other ones. Professor Chaos, where are you at? 125 feet. See, these didn't start out to be all that extreme. These are relatively simple kind of drops, like nothing excessive. But the features that they have with them, including the first drop, so or the first loop. So this drop is 125 feet. That loop, you got to figure, is around 85 at its maximum, I would think, give or take, which is a pretty big ass loop. Now, the Falco, God, that one's lit up all green. Gotta love seeing that. 71 miles an hour, and 160 feet for the max drop. And now that sounds about right. That's going to get you all that speed coming here at the bottom, right into that loop. This was a fun park to build. And I think I did a lot more at this park than I have in any other park that I've built. I mean, guys, call it what it is. You can say laziness, what have you. I really just didn't have time, and then I lost all motivation for it. That type of thing happens. You know, can't stress too much about it. On that, I think you can fairly well see my building skills are semi-basic, nothing extravagant. Took all the advice of trying to add some layers on and add some different colors, but overall, fairly basic but decent. Now, this bridge was one of the last things I built, and I can safely say is one of the things I am most proud of. Here, as I look at it in all of its glory, let's say. So if you're down here, you get off the ride, you just want to chill for a minute, boom. You're just sitting there watching. You get the great views of the RMC around here, little shuttle looper, but then also the bridge. That is a good looking bridge, let's be honest. Alright, like I said, it doesn't take much to impress myself, but I think I truly did. Truly did. So now let's take a look at this park at night. We're going to go to 1 a.m. settings. It is fairly well lit. Of course, it's a Planet Coaster lighting. I mean, everything going to have to be this close with lights all over. And this is a lot of sunken lights underneath. The regular light, this was kind of shabby. I mean, look at how much it does. You know, you got to expect. I haven't played around too much with the lighting in Planet Coaster 2, but you kind of have to expect it to be better than that. Ooh, this is what I love coming out of here on this ride at nighttime. Ooh wee. Look at that dark blue tunnel coming, shooting out of that. That's a good feeling right there, just seeing that happen. We have lights all over. Blue is a big theme in this park. Huh. That's just dawning on me right now. I'll be damned. Blue is a big ass theme here. But, ooh, this is what I wanted to show you at night. So this little thing. Talk about trippy, right? Here it comes. Making you dizzy just watching a train go through that thing, you know what I mean? So, I think it looked pretty good. I think it works out. This park was fairly fun, fairly successful build, incredibly fun to do. So we are going to be doing a park in Planet Coaster 2. I know I'm late to that party, but as the saying goes, better late than never. I did just get it downloaded last night. I started testing it out, and I've still got a few more things to test and kind of get a hold of before I start a series with it. But I can't wait to get started in that one. I'm going to be doing that one on Twitch as well, or probably that one might just be YouTube. I don't know. I'll probably do a little combination of Twitch and the YouTubes for that part. I think that seems like the best way to do it, because I can stream on Twitch for hours, but then trying to convert that stuff over to YouTube, I don't like cutting all that much stuff out if I can avoid it, and I would hate to just have to cut so much stuff out to make it a video worth seeing, because the ones that we have done on this park that have been seen where it looks kind of janky and choppy is because we basically take 4 to 6 hours of recording footage and cut it down to about 30 minutes in the speed play wise, so the system can't really process it that much, especially when you use a free media thing that I'm sure as hell not going to pay for one. So that was kind of the idea behind that. But I love how this thing turned out. This park did. It was a really fun build. In the next one, in Planet Coaster 2, we are going to have park plus water park rides. It's going to be a good one. Definitely stay tuned for that. So this was Thrillville Planet Coaster 1. One of our better parks that we made. I'm proud of it. I'm excited to see what we have coming up in Planet Coaster 2, guys. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you have not hit it already. We did just crest the 500 subscriber mark, so I'm incredibly thankful for that. I truly cannot thank y'all enough for the support that y'all have shown this channel. And getting to that 500 subscriber mark, it just feels amazing. So thank y'all very much for that. And then hit that little bell icon. So if you are a Planet Coaster fan, hit that bell icon so you can be notified of all our Planet Coaster 2 uploads that we got coming up. And we also do a bunch of stuff with college football. So if any of that stuff tickles your fancy, definitely hit that bell to be notified of that. And hit the like button. It really does help out the channel and getting the videos to be seen. And like I said, y'all have shown us so much great support here at Champ & Sons over the last year, really. I can't truly thank y'all enough for what y'all have done for us here and the channel. So let's continue it up. Let's continue growing, and I will see y'all in the next episode, everybody. Going into Planet Coaster 2, so as always, stay safe, and well, y'all know how it goes from here, right? Later, y'all.